Welcome everybody, this is Commander Ramsey, and I'm doing my series on Japanese battleships for the month of May. And this is the Tier 6 ISE, or ISE. This was originally a battleship, but the Japanese converted it in mid-war to a hybrid ship. And as you can see, this is a Tier 6. She has four 14-inch main battery guns. The squadron on board is a torpedo squadron. Planes have pontoons, so originally in the war, when the planes would return from battle, they would land in the ocean next to the ship and could be picked up by onboard crane and reloaded onto the ship for refueling and rearmament. Pretty ingenious idea given the times of WW2. The history was changing from battleships to aircraft carriers, and this ship magnifies the combination of both. Pretty ingenious setup. This is the Tier 6 battleship. You might be familiar with other hybrid ships in the game, such as the Kearsarge, and now a whole new line of ships, including the Nebraska and so forth. But in this battle, I'm in a Tier 7 battle, so not too bad. I'm the mid-tier. And you notice we've got one submarine on each side, and looks like we've got about 4 or 5 destroyers, so a lot of destroyers in this particular game, which can be a danger to a battleship such as myself. Unfortunately, one of the things is you got a pretty good delay before you can launch your planes, and I make a joke there in the comment box. One of the things I noticed in my videos, when I go to this screen here and try to set my automatic pilot for the ship, it doesn't show up on the screen, but that's what I'm doing when you see me do that a lot of times. So I go ahead and launch my planes, and I know my ship is heading off in the direction I want it to go. Now, one thing about the ISE is that it's not very strong on its armor protection, so you have to be quite careful. I've been citadeled in this ship numerous times. This, however, is either my first or second battle, I think, using the new unique commander Yamamoto, and he's supposed to be able to get those turrets around quicker. This ship, one of the cons is its main battery turrets are very slow. So we'll see how that goes. Here I'm setting up, trying to help out my teammates in the B cap. I'm trying to scare off a destroyer who's decided to set up camp here in the smoke. He's already capped B, but I wanted to try to run him out of there and give my friendly Scharnhorst some help. Meanwhile, as my planes return back to the ship, I go back myself and start firing away with my main batteries, and you can see I've already got my first fire started. So far it looks like the enemy is concentrating a strong division over here into the A cap, which is a little unusual. Most of the time enemy divisions end up strong on their left flank, but a lot of times it has to do with map placement by the beloved matchmaker. Alright, I'm starting to get peppered from the northwest. I notice there's a cruiser over there hugging the island. Can't get away another shot on another battleship. So I notice right away I'm in trouble because some of my friendlies are deserting the cap. That's something you really have to watch out for when you're playing CVs or even playing hybrid ships, as you're preoccupied with your planes and controlling your ship. Your teammates can duck or tuck and run, And that's bad when you're in a slow-moving ship, as the enemy can overcome it quite quickly. Here I decide I'm going to go into the heat of the battle and try to put some torpedoes into a slow-moving battleship, in this case the Colorado. Probably should have went a little more down the line before making my turn. The planes are fairly slow, but nonetheless you drop a lot of torpedoes, but the bad side is they don't present a lot of damage per torpedo. Right away I'm in trouble. I've got a submarine that has flanked me. Here I hit my repair party to throw off the homing signal of the torpedoes. I'm waiting for him to hit his ping, which shows up in the water as a ruffle of water, a disturbance of the water. Fortunately, I was able to thwart off those torpedoes, but I see now he's moving actually in a southern direction, so he's already been able to ping me again, but he's actually surfacing, so I'm going to try to get a few shots in on him. The good thing is when you're firing on submarines, you don't have to have a direct hit on these guys. You can splash your shells in a pretty good radius around the submarine and still get damage. So if you're a submarine player, that stinks, but if you're in any other class of ship, that's helpful. I finally think I've got him in my airstrike depth charge. One of the things about this ship when it first came out, it was one of the first hybrids in the game, and it did not come with airstrike depth charge because honestly submarines were not out yet. So the Kearsarge and the ISE both got left out of airstrike depth charge when wargaming first started to put in the hybrid line ships on the American side. And I know I wrote numerous recommendations to wargaming saying, hey, this really stinks. I get hunted down by submarines both in the ISE and the Kearsarge. They know that you don't have airstrike depth charge. And even with your planes on board, you can't spend, a third of the game circling around an ocean area where you think a submarine might be. I mean, your damage output just basically goes off the cliff. So anyway, I'm trying to get out of there. One of the defensive mechanisms that's probably most successful in submarines is actually just to run away. One of the downsides of submarines, if you're a submarine player, is that they are slow-moving ships unless you're on the surface. So you can make some pretty good time in getting away, thereby, you just heard, outrunning their torpedoes. So it's not the cowardly thing to do, it's actually the smart thing to do. So you can regroup with your team and set up a different strategy over in a different part of the map. You're better off for your team to do that than just getting yourself killed early in the match, which does no good to your team, but does make your enemy happy. Meanwhile, back to the battle. See, I'm outrunning his torpedoes again, so as I continue to move forward, I'm either matching or surpassing his speed. So at this point, I'm trying to get back in the battle, getting back over here to my friendlies where I can get some strength, and I start refiring my main battery guns. Damage so far is not the best in the world, and it looks like we've got a little bit of a lead started, probably because we've got 2 cap zones, and we're starting to get a little bit of a ship advantage. But we've already lost our submarine, as you can tell, and there's no CVs in the game. We're trying to warn our friendly New York here. He's sailing into danger, sailing into harm's way with that submarine, and you can notice the submarine is already pinged him. So hopefully he's able to dodge the torpedoes, but I don't think he does. Or I don't think he will. trying to help him out by sending some more airstrike depth charges in there. Airstrike depth charge requires some practice. Primarily, I think the biggest challenge is determining the direction the submarine is going. You cannot always assume that the submarine is traveling in a straight line between you or your stern and the submarine. Oftentimes they're traveling at an angle. So you really just have to kind of monitor the water disturbances. Here I'm able to spot him with my planes, which helps my team to zero in on their shells. Again, I'm going after the Colorado here with some more torpedoes. You can see there's 4 planes, and each plane drops 2 torpedoes, so that's, that's 8 torpedoes. But in of themselves individually, they don't present a lot of damage. I have this ship set up, you'll see at the end, set up to try to maximize floodings, and sometimes you get lucky on those. If the enemy ship has used its repair party already, you can get some serious flooding damage. The New York did survive so far. I thought that sub would take him out, but we ended up taking the sub out, so that was a great relief. So we've got a pretty good advantage now. Things are going better for us. I notice, however, though, over in the sea cap, the enemy is starting to cap that area, and I wondered where those 2 enemy ships were. They were way up north last seen. I'm in a bit of a pickle here because I can't turn too far without hitting the island, and I know, looking up in my right hand corner, that the Japanese cruiser does have torpedoes, and they're 6 kilometers, so I know they're short ranged. Trying to get my main battery guns around. He's being extra cautious, thinking I had the AP loaded, which I had not had time to load them that quick. Here I'm thinking, well, I'll just set off in a straight direction, launch my planes, and lo and behold, here comes the other enemy. It's a battleship, so I'm in a real world of hurt right now. I try to circle back over here and get the cruiser. He's moving a little bit quicker to the north than I anticipated. Try to drop my torpedoes in there. May have dropped them too late. Meanwhile, I'm focused on the renowned British battle cruiser. Now I'm able to switch over to my AP shells. They get a few secondary hits. But finally, my friendlies take out the cruiser. He launched his torpedoes, so I was forced to head into the island. Here, I think I'm dead meat because I'm just waiting for the renowned to launch his torpedoes, but I'm guessing because he's not, maybe they've been knocked out by gunfire. I do get a couple good strong penetrations on him. I'm in a real world of hurt here. Now he's going to swing around. He's going to hit me with the other side, more than likely with torpedoes. But being a battle cruiser, I start to realize I can probably overpin him. Hopefully launch my shells before he does his torpedoes. And I do. I overpin him and was able to make the kill there and sound the horn of victory. So I'm backing up here. My welders are out on deck trying to make repairs. I can see by the mini-map I've got the Congo coming over. Thinking, well, okay, hopefully I can relaunch my planes here and go after him. We've got this win in the battle here, so I'm going to go ahead and try to finish off the Congo. My friendlies don't do it first, but it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I think using the unique Commander Yamamoto has definitely improved the turret traverse problem of the ISE. It's got very slow turrets. You can see my spread of torpedoes. They're really hard to get away from, so I finish him off. And not too bad for a Tier 6 hybrid. About 92,000 in damage. We'll move on here to the game results and then the commander and ship build. So about 93,000 actually. I got 8 torpedo hits. Let's see here, I got 2 ship kills, got 7 fires because my strategy of using HE shells early in the game, 2 floods, 4 defendeds, which does help your XP score, 18 secondaries. I did get 1 depth charge, got to do some improvement on that. Came in 3rd on the team, not too bad for a Tier 7 battle. Give my teammates some compliments here. Normally I give one of the enemy players a compliment, but this game I didn't. I didn't think they performed as well as they could have. The ship itself has a good HP pool, but like I said, you've got weak armor around it, so your citadel is fairly well exposed, so try to keep your stern to the enemy as best you can. You see the renown there, 37,000 damage. Mostly AP shells and fires. Kind of a mix there, quite a bit of fire damage. Congo, you can see the damage there, 2 Congos actually. Got some torpedoes in. Colorado, you can see those torpedoes don't do a lot of damage, but they are helpful, particularly if you get a flood started. And the cruiser there, got some secondary damage on him. The submarine, there's your airstrike depth charge and 1 HE shell. Not a lot of damage. Total fire damage was 27,000, almost 28,000. And you can see that the hybrid ship has its range of potential damage to enemies, so it's got a lot of tools in the tool pouch. The hybrid ship ISE does. The torpedo bombers are nice because I think you can get more consistent damage than you can, say, from bombers or from rocket planes and some of the other hybrid ships. You can look at down below there, about 23,000 in commander XP, which is what I focus on a lot to boost my commander XP, to boost their skills. Now we'll take a look at the ship build. There's your unique commander, Isoroku Yamamoto. And notice I've got this built. Greasing the gears is the huge help, 25% with his skill. And also preventative maintenance, that helps. I've got this battleship build for helping out with anti-aircraft as well. Pretty much the other skills are pretty standard. Even the fire prevention, which I'm still having mixed feelings about that. I was in a battle with the Yamamoto, the ship, the other day, or Yamato, and I had 7 fires set on me, and I'm thinking, I don't know if that fire prevention is doing all that great. Nonetheless, there's my blue bonus flags there for Commander XP. Hope you enjoyed this game. Tune in next time.